Today, we're going to talk about a man whose life sounds more like a Hollywood thriller than reality. A man who built a fortune out of thin air, only to spend the rest of his life running from governments, enemies, and perhaps even himself. John McAfee. The name you might recognize from the antivirus software on your computer. But behind that name lies one of the strangest, most chaotic, and most mysterious stories in the entire world of technology. He was a millionaire, a fugitive, a cult figure, and a self-proclaimed enemy of the state. He lived in jungles guarded by men with guns, fled across continents on yachts, surrounded himself with chaos, paranoia, and scandal. And in the end, he died alone in a Spanish prison cell, under circumstances that remain as suspicious as his life was bizarre. But was John McAfee really a genius who saw the dangers of a corrupt system, or just a troubled man consumed by his own paranoia? Let's dive into the story of John McAfee, the bizarre life and mysterious death of a tech billionaire. John David McAfee was born in 1945 in the United Kingdom and raised in Virginia, USA. From the start, he was brilliant but troubled. He studied mathematics and computer science, excelling in programming at a time when few understood computers. In the 1980s, computer viruses were spreading like wildfire, crippling systems around the world. McAfee saw an opportunity. In 1987, he founded McAfee Associates, one of the first companies to sell antivirus software to the masses. Almost overnight, John McAfee became a multimillionaire. His product was everywhere, on office PCs, government systems, and home computers. By the early 1990s, McAfee was worth more than $100 million. But as his wealth grew, so did his eccentricity. Colleagues described him as brilliant, but increasingly erratic. He became obsessed with yoga, meditation, and Eastern spirituality. Then just as quickly, he walked away from the company he had built, selling his shares and disappearing from the corporate world. After leaving Silicon Valley, McAfee didn't live a quiet life of retirement. Instead, he moved to Belize, building a lavish jungle compound. What happened there would cement his reputation as one of the strangest figures in tech history. Neighbors reported bizarre behavior. McAfee surrounded himself with armed guards and young girlfriends. He experimented with new drugs, even allegedly running a small laboratory on his property. Rumors spread about paranoia, erratic outbursts, and darker activities. In 2012, McAfee's world truly collapsed. His neighbor, Gregory Fall, was found dead with a gunshot wound. McAfee was declared a person of interest by Belizean police. Rather than face questioning, he fled the country, claiming the government was corrupt and trying to kill him. The images of the once famous tech entrepreneur hiding in the jungle, disguised with shoe polish on his face, and giving strange media interviews shocked the world. John McAfee had gone from software pioneer to international fugitive. From 2012 to 2020, McAfee lived like a digital outlaw. He was constantly on the move, from Guatemala to the United States, from the Caribbean to Eastern Europe. He reinvented himself as a libertarian icon, speaking out against government surveillance, central banks, and what he called the deep state. On social media, he gained a cult following, posting bizarre rants about corruption, drugs, and freedom. At the same time, he made bold claims about cryptocurrency. McAfee declared that Bitcoin would reach unimaginable prices, promising to eat his own manhood on national television if he was wrong. His wild predictions drew both ridicule and fascination. But behind the chaos, his finances were collapsing. The man who had once been worth over $100 million admitted he was nearly broke. Yet he continued to live in luxury, traveling by yacht, surrounded by bodyguards and admirers. Everywhere he went, McAfee claimed powerful enemies were watching him. Whether it was paranoia or truth, the line between reality and fiction blurred completely. In 2020, McAfee's fugitive lifestyle finally caught up with him. He was arrested in Spain, wanted by U.S. authorities for tax evasion and fraud. Facing extradition to the United States, he suddenly found himself trapped in a small prison cell, far from the wild freedom he had always embraced. Then, on June 23, 2021, shocking news broke. John McAfee was found dead in his cell. The official cause was suicide by hanging. He was 75 years old, but many refused to believe it. Just months earlier, McAfee had tweeted, "If I hang myself, it will be no fault of mine." His followers pointed to the tweet as proof that he had been silenced. Some believe he held secrets about government corruption. Others think he staged his own death to escape. The truth may never be known. What is certain is that John McAfee's life ended as chaotically and mysteriously as he had lived it. From tech genius to eccentric millionaire, from yoga guru to jungle fugitive, from cryptocurrency prophet to a dead man in a foreign prison, John McAfee was a man who lived many lives, each stranger than the last. Was he a visionary who saw the world for what it really was, or simply a troubled man consumed by his own paranoia? This was the bizarre life and mysterious death of John McAfee.